Hello, my name's Renee and this is my first YouTube video. Please forgive me if I'm awkward in this video, because it's been a very long time since I've last made a YouTube video, and even when I did make those videos, I never showed my face, so it's a little unusual for me, but I'm doing it now, so... But today I just kind of want to explain what I want to do with this channel and introduce myself, talk about me and what I like to do and how I got to this point. As you can probably tell from my social media and my other YouTube videos, I like to draw a lot. I first started drawing when I was like 4 or 5 years old, and when I first started drawing, I liked to draw these characters from a book called The Boy Next Door. I didn't make up the characters, but the way they looked, I did make up, and I think it was pretty impressive for a 4 or 5-year-old. I made a lot of comic stories based on that one set of characters. As I got a little bit older, I moved away from that. I got a little more serious about my art and I wanted to create my own style. But usually before you do that, you have to learn realism and the basics of anatomy, which are really fancy art terms. And at this point, I started drawing real people that I liked, like band members or YouTubers, and I drew them realistically. I remember those days when I used to obsess over Panic at the Disco and Jacksepticeye. That was really embarrassing. So I did that for a while, but eventually my passion for art kind of slowed a little bit. I still like to draw, but not nearly as much as I used to, and that was until I went to high school. In my high school, I get to study architecture, and in architecture, you have to know how to draw. It really requires you to be creative and innovative and think of out-of-the-box ideas. And being in a course like that, learning about stuff like that, I think it really helped bring my passion for art back. I remember one day our teacher was talking to us and she was telling us how important it was to have an art portfolio saved for when it's needed most. And included in that was an Instagram page or a YouTube page. So that same day, I created my Instagram page and started posting art for everyone to see, and thus, the fourth denial was born. I started posting my art for people to see, and while there weren't a ton of people looking at it, it was nice to see people complimenting my work. I think one of the best parts about being on Instagram and all that stuff was that there were people there who liked the same stuff that I did, like the band members and the YouTubers, so I had people I could relate to. So now I like to draw whatever comes to mind, whatever I can think of. I like to draw my own characters. I take a lot of inspiration from the real world or Instagram or pretty much anything I see that I think looks cool. If I see like a girl on the street like posing in a certain way or has a cool outfit, I'll remember that and come home and try and draw it later. Usually that ends up failing, but that's what I like to do. Now that I have a computer, a drawing tablet, and an epic drawing program, I can actually draw digital art too. And honestly, I think I prefer that over traditional art because it's a little easier, and also there's so many more things you can do with it. So from all the things I've just said, you probably think that art is super fun, but it's not that way all the time. Most of the time, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, I'll start drawing, trying to draw one thing, and then end up with something completely different. And there's nothing more frustrating than having a wonderful, amazing idea in your head and just not being able to put it down on the paper. At some points it's gotten so intense that I've literally cried over my drawings, like not being able to do it correctly. It's not easy stuff. But that doesn't mean it's impossible. Besides all the hard work that you put into it, that just makes the reward even better. If you just keep persevering and trying again, eventually you'll get it right, and that's the most satisfying feeling in the world. I don't think there's anything better than finally finishing a piece that you've slaved over for like hours, and then actually being happy with the way it looks. Like, that's amazing. But anyways, I think that's all for today. It's pretty nerve-wracking starting this video at first. It was really like weird, but I think I've got the hang of it now after all of these years. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you look forward to the rest of them. And I'll see you in the next one. Wow, that's a weird saying, but yeah. Okay, bye. But that's pretty much all I want. The fan stopped. Finally.